Good day for the batters in the round two of the 4-day series. We're kind of going to be doing a Proteas watch to discuss some of the guys that performed well today. So we're going to look across the ground. We're going to go through every single fixture today. I have a chance now to speak about 4-day cricket, which I don't get to do often because there's always some international matches happening, etc., and that has kept us busy on this particular channel on our daily show. So tonight, we're going to be talking about the 4-day series. We're going to look around the ground. I'm going to tell you guys about some excellent articles that we have on the website as well, which you guys need to check. So let's discuss it. Let's start this going. I'm also going to be playing a specific interview for you guys. It is on the channel as well, but I'm going to play it for you guys on the show as well, so that you guys, if you guys don't want to go to the video and to go watch it. But before we get going, before we get started, please click subscribe to this channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. We are busy with the latest issue right now. It's going to kind of be a recap of what happened in the World Cup, to discuss what went wrong, to see where things went funny with the Proteas, and also to look ahead. So look ahead at the next games that we're going to be playing, or look at it in the next tournaments and how we're going to improve, as well as looking at the test series that are coming ahead. So we're going to be looking ahead as well as reflecting on what has recently happened in the latest issue. Please smash the like button like I already asked you, and also become a Patreon if you want to help us grow and promote South African cricket in South Africa. Well, obviously, then please click on the link on the screen as well as in the description. And go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates, features, reports, etc. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. I'm looking forward to discussing this with you guys. It's me with you guys today. So let's get into it. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with the 4-day series, round two in South African domestic cricket. And I think we're going to do a little bit of a Proteas watch today, but I'm also will highlight a couple of other performances as well. Let's get it going. Let's get started. Let's have a look at some of the fixtures. So we have obviously Division 2 matches that also took place at the same time, of course, which I'm not necessarily going to go into too much. I'm also going to try and focus on the main performances today. So let's start with the Titans. I think that's a brilliant place to start because we obviously know that we had a couple of Proteas. Our captain was playing there today, and our captain performed today, 137 of 191 balls, 24 fours today, to help the Titans obviously post 328 for 7 in their 71.5 overs. We had a little bit of help for the captain, you could say, around him. Makanya batted okay. Tennis the Brain had a good start, but it was Heinrich Klaasen's 87 of 95 balls, 15 fours, that stood out amongst the rest and really helped the captain obviously post a decent total. So it was a good performance from those two players today. I think that was a good thing to see. To see those players obviously perform the way they have. Dean Alger, before this particular 4-day series, he specifically said that he wants to see our players. He wants to see our players score big runs in this 4-day series, and that was before the first round. And it wasn't the best of four first rounds for everybody in that particular round. I mean, we had Alger with a duck. Tony De Zorzi got a duck. Calvereno went out in 87, I think it was, in his first match. And he backed it up with another century today, but we'll get to those results. But looking at these, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little better because I don't think it's as clear as I want it to be. Okay, that's a lot clearer. Okay, so over here, we can have a look. So it was those two Proteas on the plane to Australia. So they put in the runs, which is a very good thing to see. I like to see that. I like to see players answer the call when the captain asks for something and asked for a reaction from the players, and they put it in. Then we had Gerald Coetzee bowling today. He had a very difficult day today. Naught wickets for 95 runs, only one maiden, 16.5 overs. He had a struggle today. But his other partner, who's also quick, is Michael Pretorius. He took three for 65 in 14 overs. So it's a good performance from him. And Neelan van Heerden is a guy that's coming through at the Knights over the recent times that have been quite consistent in recent times with a 4 for 47 in 17 overs, two maidens in that as well. So the Knights tried their best to try and restrict the Titans to as best as possible. I mean, at this particular ground, 328, you would like a lot more. So obviously, they're going to look for Heinrich Klaassen to push on, try and push on and score bigger runs over there in that particular match. So it's good to see that. I see that Lorenzo is saying congratulations to Alga de Zorzi, Verena Klaassen, excellent stuff, boys. And it's good to see that they have done that and have gone to play at this level consistently. I like it. We want to see them score big in the domestic season so that they can go or into the domestic games so that they can go into the Australia series with all this confidence. So I'm so happy that Dean Algo got a massive score today. So let's move on to the next game to talk about. Uh, I'm going to go to, before we get to the other game, I think I'm going to highlight the Six Gun Grill game between because I was there and I was live. Um, it was an excellent batting performance from the two openers today. I really have to give praise to particularly the way Tony De Zorzi and Eddie Moore opened the batting today. It wasn't that easy to bat on in the middle in the morning session. I mean, Hardisville Yoon was steaming in at Newlands and really bowling really well. And it took some time for the boys to get their eyes in and really get themselves settled. But once they did, and then once they started getting closer and closer to that 50 over mark, both of them, they really started to look more comfortable and in control of their innings. There wasn't much spin in the wicket, so a guy like Van Berg, Simon van Berg, Sean van Berg, sorry, a guy like Sean van Berg really struggled today. He didn't really get the best out of the wicket, you would say. I mean, as good as he is, he still got a wicket today. But he bowled a lot of overs, but he wasn't getting much purchase out of the wicket, I would say. They were playing him quite well. I think Calvareno also played him beautifully. But I have to talk about that 163. I mean, as we know, Tony De Zorzi scored 163 of 241 balls, 24 fours. Eddie Moore scored 71 of 104 balls. I got to see him afterwards and chat to him a little bit. But I'm hoping that I can catch up with him, obviously, the rest of this particular 4-day series. But it was Calvareno who ended the day not out on 144 of 161 balls, 15 fours, and 6 sixes, guys. He batted so beautifully today. He looked in control. He was moving in the crease very well. He was moving around quite well. He was really, really, really batting beautifully. And the way he obviously batted with the likes of Tony De Zorzi, I think that was a key. I've got a little interview for you guys that I'm going to play for you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy it, of course. I'm going to play it afterwards and we can get some more insight to talk about with regard to this game. Let me do that after I discuss the rest of the fixtures that were played today. So as you can see, obviously the Western Province Blitz put on 430 not out, and they obviously going to go into bat tomorrow again. I'm expecting obviously the rocks on this wicket. It looks like quite a decent wicket. But the morning session is obviously going to be very key because that's when the ball moves a lot. Tony De Zorzi actually speaks about it quite nicely in the interview, which I'm going to show you next. Then we can move on to the next game, which was between let's go, where is it now? It was the Warriors and the Dolphins. This game was quite shocking to me, actually. It's a very low scoring game currently. The Warriors really struggled. And to get a decent innings on the board. Jordan Henman batted really well, though. Another 50 for him, another milestone for him. 51 he scored. And it was really just him. If it wasn't for that 37 runs from Clinton Steedman, they would have really been looking at a very low total. So it was a very low total. And you have to take your hats off to the bowlers. Ethan Bosch, Othniel Batman, Darren de Pavlon, and Modi Mokwani, they bowled really well. Um, so yeah, that obviously put the Warriors back at 166 all out. But the response from the Dolphins, which I was hoping there would be a response, so that the Warriors can obviously come back in the second innings and put another total on the board. It wasn't a very good performance from Cyril Eve today. Unfortunately, him not getting the runs out of the Proteas players that were playing. But Marcus Ackerman was 2 runs short of 48. 2 runs short from a 50. Jason Smith is batting beautifully. He's on 44 not out. So the Dolphins are still in control in this match, I would say. And Dele is also batting, so that's nice to see. Um, let's see what they can put on the board, because it will be very interesting to see what they can do. So yeah, that's basically the innings that we can talk about. Let me see if there's maybe a match that I missed out on. It's Easton's multiple Titans. I take Knights, I've already spoken about. Six Gangrel districts against Limpopo. That's second division. And then the Northwest versus the Lions. We need to talk about this too, of course. So in this particular game, we had Rassie van der Dussen batting. We had the likes of Ryan Rickleton batting too. Ryan Rickleton was actually running between the wickets quite well. If you go look on Werner's Twitter account, he shows you actually quite videos, and Ryan Rickleton actually liked the post. So I'm hoping to chat to Ryan soon to actually find out what has been going on with him. I hope that we can get that interview going. But Rassie van der Dussen got a 45, unfortunately not making that 50 over mark, and Don falling to 11 runs away from a century. But at least we got Rassie in the flow of things. He's back from an injury, so it's going to take some time, I think, to get him back into the swing of things. With regards to the bowling, it was pretty spread out. Mutusami taking 2, Ronaldo Meyer taking 1, Delano Potgieter taking 1, and Kerwin Mangaru taking 1. So that's basically everything that we have from the 4-day series across the South Africa. But I'm going to play you this little interview because it will give you some insight, a lot of insight into 4-day cricket, into batting, into Tony Dezorzi's mindset. And this is why I think that he's on the brink of actually making it as a Protea one day. I really back him to do so. And I think this can be his season where he can really put big runs on the board and maybe push for a spot in the future. I think this is an interview that everybody should watch. So that's why I'm going to play it to you on the Daily Show right now. I literally did it like an hour ago. So it was directly after the game. So don't judge, guys. But I'm going to play it for you now. Let's just pause this advert. I don't want to be playing adverts on the channel because we're not actually getting paid for that. So skip that ad. Let's start. Guys, is there no sound? Okay. There's no sound. I'm sorry, guys. Let me just try to sort that out for you. I'm so sorry that I played the thing with no sound. No, only Lawrence said anything about it. Let me just reshare that. I'm sorry. I know what I did there, what I did wrong there. Let me just put it on back for you guys again. Let me share it with the audio. Um, and let's
And a
go.
couple of other guys, but I'm going to start with you, Tony. Tony, first and foremost, you must be very tired. How are you feeling currently? It's hot here today.
Yeah, I was very, very tired. I was saying to our trainer that lost a bit of weight and I'm still getting cramps, so I think it's a bit overrated. But yeah, obviously, like I said, I'm quite tired. It was a tough start, and then obviously was able to battle on.
So what sort of things do you do with the physios, etc., to recover from a knock like this?
And of course, now we're gonna get an ad.
I think we'll have ice
Okay,
baths
no.
later. We did it like what are those massage guns. We did
Yeah.
a compression pants thing that he has, the machine, which is really nice, actually quite fancy. I'm getting abused for sitting in it though, but it's all right. I don't really mind. I need
Cool.
to recover. My legs are heavy.
So let's talk about the surface. This morning, yourself and Eddie put on an amazing knock. I want to first know, what was that like to bat with him now in the middle after the slow start? I mean, you didn't do so well in the first match, but now, I mean, 163. What a knock. What was key to it, and what was the conditions like? Was it easy to bat on? Was it quite tricky in the morning?
Um, like I said a bit earlier, I think they left the stumps a bit too early. There's definitely something in it there when they bowled straight. I think Kwesi showed that in the morning when myself and Eddie played and missed. Hardest as well went through us a few times. So I think there was definitely something for the guys on the line of the stumps. They just maybe, I think, like I said, went a bit wide too early. And then I think it's really nice to always bat with Eddie. He's a fighter. He's always going to keep you um, entertained and keep you like wanting to stay in the fight. So it's really nice to bat with him. And then to bat with Scholesy towards the end is always easy because he's always trying to move the game forward, and you can just kind of do your own thing. So yeah, it was nice partnerships to have, and hopefully our bowlers can show, like I said, that there is definitely something in it for the bowlers when you kind of hitting the stumps and bringing all this modes of dismissal in.
Yeah. Do you feel that your relationships with him or their partnerships with him actually opened you up a little bit more as well to expand a little bit more?
I think, yeah, I think with Eddie, it's like I said, you're gonna have someone who's fighting there with you on the other side, so that
Yeah.
it brings that out in you. And then when Scholesy, you've done the dirty work, you got to 80, 90, and he's coming in, he starts playing shots.
Yeah.
Maybe then you think, hey, I can match it and join the party here. Which actually, in a sense, you got to stick to your normal game plan, what got you to 80, 90 in the first place. So
Yeah.
it's important to be able to like ride that momentum with him, and then also rein yourself back in when you have to.
Do you feel that this can be a kickstart to your season now, and can so you can get more consistency? How do you refocus now and then think about the next inning?
Yeah, well, I think I mean, the goal is to obviously push this as much as we can, and maybe only bat once or a few overs in the next innings. Really just depends how the game goes. Yeah, like you said, it was a slow start, a shocking run out, but I won't speak about that. So yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm grateful that I was able to get some runs today. You keep your feet on the ground, and then you just try push forward for the next one. I think how it first starts is you want to get through the new ball for the team, and myself and Eddie were able to do that,
Mhm.
and then you just push on from there, hopefully.
So what are the goals? I mean, we know SAA last season, of course, and I mean, I've been pushing you, to go for that next step and taking that next step. We are really looking. I think South Africa is really looking for top order batters and middle order batters in general. We're struggling in the batting department. What are your goals for this season, with regards to yourself and your personal goals?
I think, like I said when we've spoken before, there's a lot of things outside of your control, so you can't really those types of goals and dreams everyone has,
Yeah.
and they'll happen when they're supposed to. I think for now, like I said, do my job, bat at the top of the order, see off the new ball, and then when you get a chance to go big, try your best to do that, and do that as many times as possible. And after that, I mean, it's in God's hands or whoever else. So
Can you give some tips to youngsters on scoring big? Ashwell Prince said last year to me that when you're batting big or going for centuries, think beyond the century, don't think about the century mark. Just think beyond it. Try to score 120, 130, etc. Is that a technique that you use, or something that goes in your mind, or how do you think about your innings and set it up in your head?
when I was younger, I obviously used to look at the runs and stuff like that in red ball cricket, and I think sometimes that would make me go looking for
Yeah,
runs when sometimes you didn't really have to. And it's actually more about, especially when you're opening, about occupying the
yeah,
crease and spending time there. I remember when I spoke to Cookie about it, Stephen Cook, he always used to say it's more runs will come, but as an opener, it's time, spending time out there. And then batting with Aiden a few times when I was still at the Titans, he used to have like time goals. So he would say like he wants to bat for half an hour or 10 minutes
wow.
or 5 minutes. So he used to look at it like that, never used to look at it his own score. And I use that technique or that way of going about it today and for the last couple of years, or trying to look at the time and, like I said, occupying the crease and making that my goal. The runs will eventually come.
Awesome, Tony. Thanks a lot for that.
So that was some hectic insight over there about opening the batting and thinking about it and where he's gotten his tips from and how he approaches it, etc. So I thought that was a nice interview to give you guys to get some insight into the mindsets of players when they are facing these things. What are our domestic cricketers thinking when they are playing in the middle, batting long, etc.? What are their tips? What are the things that they think about? And I think Tony spoke really well today about that. Let's get into some of the comment section over here and see what you guys have to say. We've got Rabi Kumar saying, Cal looks like $1 million in domestic cricket, just like Markram. I hope he moves his feet in test matches as well, like he did today. Tony should have been in the squad in place of Zondo. I agree with that, actually. I mean, yes, Tony, another season will do the world of wonders for Tony De Zorzi. I know if you look at his average, on Crick Info at the moment. Semi-pro results are also mixed with that. If you just look at his average from the Titans and the Cobras alone, and you just take that and 4-day cricket stats alone, his stats are really good. So we need to also consider that when we're looking at it. 4-day cricket is very difficult, different to 3-day cricket. And in a lot of cases, in some cases, it drops your average, and in some cases, it can increase your average like way more than actually what you deserve. So in certain cases, that can happen. That's why I like to look at the 4-day stats individually. Just try and look at how the batters batted in 4-day cricket. It's a totally that extra days it makes the whole situation totally different, the mentality and everything on your approach. So I was very impressed with the way he batted. Eddie today as well. I was looking at Eddie today and he's so comfortable at the crease to bat long. His mindset is like that. Yes, he got a little bit unlucky today. I'm not going to lie. He did get a little bit unlucky today to lose his wicket. I know he was pushing for that century. I know he was a bit upset about the fact that he didn't get it. But I think there's a lot in the. I think the move to the Cobras is really going to open him up as a batter. He has batters in his team that can really complement the style of play that he plays. So I think that's a really good option in the future as well for maybe SA and obviously the Proteas too. But Calvareno today, guys, really, really, really good knock. I like the way he ran between the wickets. I like the way he was picking the gaps. I like the way he was being attacking and aggressive. I don't know if captaincy made him even more aggressive in the way he's approach, but he was in total control today. I really, really hope that he can bat like that against Australia. And if he approaches this game like he did today, I really think that he can put on a performance like we want him to. And we want to see this Calvareno for the Proteas. It's a whole total different ball game when we're looking at Cal play the way he did today. So Markram, Brevis can't make the 11, but Makanya averages 26 in first class, makes the 11, and also gets captaincy. This quota selection is brutal. Yeah, the quota selection is quite brutal in domestic cricket. Only 5 white players can play. So it does make it very difficult to you to pick teams. They're trying to push more players of color into the team, but you wouldn't get opportunities for guys otherwise. I feel. I do think it can be a little less strict in domestic cricket. I don't think that the quotas of 6-5 is a good one. I do think that they can maybe just drop it a little bit to make it a little bit more competitive. But other than that, there's nothing we can do about it. These are the rules, and the coaches know those rules. For example, I think that Deva Brevis could come in for maybe someone like Neil Brandt. It is an option, but the Titans are going with more experience. For Tristan Stubbs' sake as well, Tristan Stubbs didn't make it either into the team. That also was that's a little bit sad as well, because I really hope that those 2 players can go play more first-class cricket. Not only is it good for their T20 game, but it's also good for their goals and aims to play Test cricket one day. Very happy to see some of our Proteas getting runs today. Alga and Varane with the hundreds and the big hundreds too. They're also batting in crucial positions for South Africa, so we need them firing. Neelan van Heerden need to be spoken more of, in my opinion. He bowled gun today, and he bowled very well last season. I was very impressed last season with him too. I actually need to try and get an interview with him to understand his story. Jordan Heyman, just why every time I see him, he's quality. He is a very quality batter, but we need to be patient with him, guys. I don't want us to force too many players in too soon and then spoil their careers. We need to be cautious with certain players and also give them time to be able to score big consistently, so that it's almost instinctive, that it doesn't feel too foreign when they're walking out in Test cricket and they know they have to spend hours at the crease. But you also need to look at Makanya's average last season was very good, eh, Justin? I know you being very critical of him because of his overall average, but like I said, 4 days the averages are different, and he was very good last season. Um, the Zorzi should get the selection in place of Zondo. Makanya keeping Brevis out of the 11. Surely Brevis can score more runs than Makanya. Unpopular opinion, there's no way Brevis gets a test score up before Jordan Herman. As things are going now, Jordan Herman already has 2 milestones in his first 2 games for the Warriors in 4-day cricket. A big 100 and a 50. Dewald hasn't even played 4-day cricket. So I think we need to be patient with Dewald. I feel like we're trying to rush too many players too quickly. There are certain players you can fast track in that are ready. Like I think Jordan Herman should rather be thought about when it comes to fast tracking into the Proteas setup or SA teams, because he's putting the runs on the board. Just because someone has talent doesn't mean that they're going to be able to put that talent into action when they're playing in the match. So you need to actually see them do it for 4-day cricket. Spending those hours in the middle. I mean, Calvaraina, Tony DeZorzi, you heard about the ice baths, etc. They've done it before. They've scored big hundreds before. They're used to scoring big hundreds, and yet they are immensely tired. Calvaraina was wobbling today when he was walking off the field. So, and those are guys are fit, and they're used to playing test. And I mean, Calvaraina is used to playing test cricket now as well. So it's a tough format, and we need to give our kids or our younger players opportunities to settle in, and take their time and get the runs on the board first before we start doing things. Sorry, I'm just replying about the article that needs to get done. Eddie Moore still brings the stability to the West. I think that was an excellent signing. He really brings stability. Yes, you're right. Experience and stability at the top of the order. The style of cricket that he plays is very complementary to the opening batters and the attacking batters that VP Blitz have. So that's a good thing. Lorenzo Brevis won't make his first class day because of Makanya. I don't think that's the right narrative to push, Justin. It's not only Makanya in the team that is keeping him out of the team. 100% commitment from Klassen from playing second round after coming from Australia, unlike others. That lofted straight drive from Eddie was absolutely breathtaking. Yep. I'm not interested in this quota tournament. Too many talented players benched. Shock Stubb didn't play. First Brevis, now Stubbs. Is it a numbers thing because they both of them play or both are fit? Very strange. Khalid, why they dropped Joshua Rich? Joshua Rich was injured last season. I need to check with him how he's doing now. I haven't checked up on him. It's bad of me. I normally always check up on him before the 4-day series. I will actually ask him how he's doing at some point. Jason Older, welcome. To be honest, Rassi van der Dussen shouldn't be in the test squad. Guy is old, not performing in test cricket. Rather would have had Reiner van Tondo or Janaman Malan. Young talent South African deprived players should move to Namibia, then we'll support Namibia then. Victor is the worst selector ever, man. Rassi and Kaya don't deserve to be in that squad. Give Janaman Malan, he deserves a chance. I mean, Rassi's been consistent for South Africa. He hasn't scored big hundreds for South Africa yet, but a couple of half centuries have really pushed him up there. He brings experience into the lineup, so I'm not that critical about him. I think Janaman needs another season of scoring big. It's a new position he's batting in as well. He's batting at 3 and 4, not opening. So I want to see him score some runs in that position as well. The same like we want to see Aiden Markham do the same thing. The same like we want to see Tony DeZorzi do the same thing. I think Janaman is on the brink, yes, and he's one of the players that are in the mix, but he needs to continuously score runs. And let's see how he does tomorrow. I mean, it's an opportunity for him to score bigger than Newland's wicket that seems to be quite good for batting. Tony DeZorzi speaks quite well, sounds more mature. I picked it up in the interview you did with him before the season started. He's a talented cricketer, and I agree with you. He'll don the green and gold soon. Let's move on to some more. What's Tony's stats? I need to go have a look at it again in 4-day cricket alone. Bartman should be, but last time I checked, it was in the 40s for 4-day cricket. Bartman should be contention for all three formats, I would pick him in white ball cricket instead of KG. I wouldn't go in far as going in white ball cricket in KG. Interesting. I do think that though maybe he should have been picked ahead of someone like Gerald Coetzee because Batman has been performing quite successfully, consistently in the team, or perhaps even in space of Glenton, maybe. But they probably have reasons for why they went with the likes of Gerald. I think it's because of his raw pace. He's bowling at 152, 53, 55 sometimes. So he's bowling extremely quick. And you know how South Africa loves pace. So I really do hope that Batman gets rewarded for the amazing consistency he's shown in the last 2 seasons. We're not rushing Brevis, but he deserves to play for domestic team. England domestic team would love Brevis to play county. Why isn't Markin playing 4-day this week? I think he's resting. That's why he's not in the squad. So good to see big scores being put on today. Feeling like I need to work on a Tony Desori highlights package. I think so too. That would be excellent, Verna. Please go follow this channel, guys. Excellent content on this channel. How did you want the Rassi drop to get the new blood in? What's changed? What's changed is nothing. I want a reset. I really do want a reset. I want South Africa to build a new, young, fresh team. That would be my preference. But in reality, that's not going to happen. So what I want to see is just the players that are selected to perform. So I'll back the players when they get selected. We can debate it before squads and we can debate it before matches. But I think once the squad has been selected, we need to back the guys that are there and find the best way to do it. Khalid, you ready to do part 2 of the Ronaldo interview tonight? I am ready for tonight's Ronaldo interview. I'm a big Ronaldo fan. I've been a Ronaldo fan since the age of, I can't even remember the age I was, 10, 11. And we share the same birthday. My favorite number is number 7. David Beckham got me into falling in love with Manchester United initially, and the number 7 was his back on his back, and that's my favorite number. So I have a very massive affiliation with regards to Ronaldo. Last night's interview, though, I knew most of that information. The only thing I can say really that I think was a bit swak or unfair was the fact that he went after certain players or didn't mention certain players, like for example Bruno and stuff when he was speaking about players that are professional, etc. He only mentioned Delo, Casemiro, and Martinez. I'm happy that he mentioned Martinez actually, so that all those idiots that are criticizing Martinez can shut up. But he didn't say much. Today is the big interview. Today is the big one. And I'm not a big fan of Piers Morgan, to be honest. I think Ronaldo did everything wrong with his interview, from picking Piers to the timing of the interview and to what he said in the interviews as well. That's just a big, big, big blunder for me. And whoever advised him to do this, I think, doesn't have his best interest at heart, I don't think, because he can really tarnish his legacy. I hope he doesn't tonight with part 2. Khalid, would you pick Zondo over Tony? I would pick Tony, to be honest with you. I didn't necessarily agree with the Zondo selection. I believe that Tony is a much better batter. He's more over the last year and he's younger. So I would have gone with Tony over Zondo, definitely. Sharma too early. I heard Khalid was interviewing Piers Morgan soon. Yeah, imagine. It should be a big argument. That should be a good interview. So I'll probably be arguing with him second, left, right, and center. We'll probably do well because I'll probably not keep my mouth shut at him when he has the crazy ideas that he puts out into the world. We need to be a very biased guy. When he has a thought in his mind, he's unbelievably biased. I just don't understand. But anyway, we need to be patient with Mulder. You will become a beast in world cricket in all 3 formats. I hope so. I've always thought that you can become that. I really hope selectors are brave and give Markram captaincy. The SA20 would help Markram build on captaincy role. Dean Alga said it. He said Markram needs to go back and score runs. That's what Markram has to go do. And that's unfortunately what has been asked from him, and that's what he's going to have to go do. To go score some runs at domestic level and really show that he can score big again. I still believe that he should open the batting. I think that's his best position. And I think that Tony Desors is a type of batter that can bat opening 3 or 4. So we have a lot of versatile batters that are playing in domestic cricket. I'm very excited about the future of South African cricket, to be honest. I just hope that our guys can get some consistency going, get some big runs on the board, and start making their names into the team. Khalid will Hamza be eligible to play for VP very soon. I haven't had an opportunity to actually speak to him, to be honest. I've tried to get hold of him, but I haven't been able to get hold of him. Maybe I'll see him training maybe at Newlands or whatever over the next 3 days, and I can maybe have a chat with him. But I haven't spoken to him and seen him in months. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to actually catching up with him if he does give me the chance to do so. But guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new and click that notification bell for all future videos. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll be trying to, if there are some excellent performances tomorrow, I'll be doing some interviews after the game again tomorrow, and then come back to you guys with a daily show. I'm not sure what the topic will be yet. Let's see what happens. I think maybe I'll just do a Q&A with you guys tomorrow. That would be nice, to just get you guys to ask me as many questions as possible in the live chat, and then I can answer it as best as I possibly can. But to all the guys that supported us today, watch the show, thank you very much. Please do all the prompts that I've asked you to do. Share all my interviews, please, guys. I need it to spread wide and get people to listen to them, because I think there's some amazing insight from cricketers in them that can really teach youngsters about the future of cricket and about their own game. But thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another daily show. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your evening. Peace out.